The world of modern entertainment has seen its fair share of highly publicized romances. But absolutely nothing could have prepared the global public for the absolute whirlwind that has dominated conversations across continents for the past 3 years. It is a story that bridges two entirely different yet equally massive cultural universes, bringing together the unmatched creative force of global music and the high-octane excitement of professional sports. For months, millions of people have hovered over their screens, tracking every single detail, parsing every hidden message, and debating every whisper that emerged from the inner circles of these two figures. The sheer scale of public fascination has turned this relationship into something resembling a modern folklore tale, where every public appearance is analyzed like a historic event and every quiet moment is guarded like a state secret. It is a phenomenon that proves how deeply invested the world can become when genuine human connection happens under the brightest spotlights imaginable, sparking a level of global curiosity that shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Before we dive deeper into the incredible twists and turns of this unfolding story, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the moments shaping our culture. Globalnews.ca, the atmospheric tension surrounding this pair reached an all-time high as summer began to settle in, with rumors reaching a fever pitch that a massive milestone was on the immediate horizon. For a long time, the public could only piece together a puzzle made of vague hints, quiet travels, and conflicting reports from various unnamed sources. Some believed the couple would choose a quiet, remote getaway far from the prying eyes of the paparazzi, perhaps a historic estate hidden in the hills of Europe or a private coastal sanctuary wrapped in heavy security. Others were completely convinced that a massive theatrical celebration was the only logical outcome for two individuals who spent their entire professional lives performing in front of packed stadiums. This lingering uncertainty kept the global audience guessing until the very last second, turning the anticipation into a shared cultural experience where fans and media outlets alike were left hanging on every word. The mystery was only amplified by the absolute silence from their official teams, who managed to maintain an airtight perimeter around the couple's private plans despite intense pressure from the global media apparatus. www.guardian.com. It was during a major public celebration in the heart of New York City that the first real crack in this wall of secrecy appeared, capturing the attention of everyone looking for a definitive answer. A well-known family member, stepping into the spotlight during a major holiday event, could not help but share a few words about the emotional weight of recent events, sending shockwaves through the entertainment world. Her brief yet incredibly expressive description of the atmosphere as purely magical immediately validated the endless speculation that had occupied the internet for weeks. This small confirmation, coming from someone so deeply embedded in the family structure, provided the first authentic glimpse into an event that had otherwise been completely hidden from the public eye. The contrast between the massive, chaotic energy of New York City and the deeply personal, enchanted tone of her words perfectly encapsulated the duality of this entire romance, which somehow managed to feel incredibly intimate despite its monumental scale, as the pieces finally began to fall into place. It became clear that the couple had pulled off one of the most logistically staggering feats in modern celebrity history by gathering a massive group of prominent figures right in the center of Manhattan. The choice of venue was nothing short of brilliant, opting for a legendary arena that usually hosts historic athletic battles and legendary musical performances rather than private family milestones. To transform a space of that magnitude into an exclusive, highly guarded sanctuary required a level of planning and operational security that is rarely seen outside of major international summits. Guests were reportedly bound by strict non-disclosure agreements, and the physical perimeter around the location was tightened to ensure that no unauthorized images or details could escape into the digital world. This created a fascinating contrast where thousands of passionate onlookers gathered on the sweltering streets outside, completely aware that something historic was happening just behind the reinforced doors, yet entirely cut off from the celebration unfolding inside. Globalnews.ca, the grand finale of this massive operation, came at a precisely coordinated moment in the evening, when the legendary venue itself became the messenger for the couple's big announcement. In a spectacular display that instantly illuminated the Manhattan skyline, the massive digital screens wrapping the arena flashed a bold, romantic message that playfully combined their shared initials. It was a blockbuster revelation that felt both incredibly grand and deeply personal, signaling to the entire city and the millions watching online that the long-awaited moment had officially taken place. The brilliant display served as the perfect transition from total secrecy to absolute public celebration, triggering an immediate explosion of activity across social media platforms worldwide. It was a masterclass in modern storytelling, proving that even in an era of constant connectivity and relentless media scrutiny, it is still possible to create a genuine moment of awe and surprise that captures the collective imagination of the entire planet. The sheer scale of the event that unfolded inside that legendary Manhattan arena quickly became the focal point of global media, as the strict wall of secrecy finally began to reveal its magnificent details. At exactly 7:30 in the evening, the precise moment the digital screens illuminated the New York skyline, the carefully guarded atmosphere inside the venue shifted into a historic celebration. It was a gathering of a magnitude rarely seen in the entertainment industry, bringing together an estimated 1,000 of the couple's closest friends, family members, and an unparalleled roster of international icons. The logistics of secretly assembling such a high-profile crowd in the absolute center of one of the busiest cities on Earth required months of flawless execution. Security protocols were described by industry insiders as nothing short of military grade, with every entrance fortified and every guest reportedly agreeing to strict non-disclosure terms to preserve the sanctity of the moment. This created an incredibly tense yet electric environment where the outside world could only watch the heavily guarded barricades, knowing that history was being made just out of sight. As the official announcements began to trickle out through trusted publicists, the fashion world stood completely still to marvel at the high-fashion choices that defined the evening. Both the bride and the groom chose to wear custom-designed creations from the legendary French fashion house Christian Dior, marking a monumental moment for the historic brand. The bridal look was an absolute masterpiece of haute couture, meticulously crafted by Jonathan Anderson, the acclaimed creative director who oversees the prestigious label's collections. This project represented a significant milestone for the designer, marking his very first time creating a custom couture wedding gown for a world-renowned celebrity of this caliber. The process was described as a deeply collaborative journey, with the designer working hand-in-hand with both the bride and groom for months to ensure that every stitch reflected their shared journey. The attention to detail extended all the way to their footwear, which featured custom-made creations by Christian Louboutin, while the bride anchored her historic look with timeless, exquisite jewelry pieces sourced from the legendary vaults of Cartier. In a striking departure from traditional celebrity weddings, the couple made a conscious decision to forego a large entourage of bridesmaids and groomsmen, choosing instead to keep their inner wedding party deeply rooted in family bonds. Rather than surrounding themselves with a massive line of Hollywood friends, they elevated their own siblings to the most important roles of the night. The bride's brother, Austin, stepped into the spotlight to serve as her dedicated man of honor, standing proudly by her side as she prepared to take the monumental step forward. On the other side of the altar, the groom's older brother, Jason, a legendary and beloved figure in his own right within the world of professional sports, took on the responsibility of being the best man. This choice added a profoundly intimate, emotional layer to an event that was otherwise grander than life, proving that, despite their astronomical global fame, both individuals remained fiercely loyal to the families who supported them long before the bright lights found them. The emotional gravity of the ceremony was elevated even further by the unexpected choice of the officiant, a longtime Hollywood heavyweight and close personal friend of the couple. Adam Sandler, whose comedic genius and warm-hearted nature have made him a beloved fixture in global cinema for decades, stood at the altar to guide the pair through their sacred vows. His presence brought a perfect blend of genuine warmth, light-hearted humor, and deep sincerity to the proceedings, ensuring that the atmosphere remained grounded and joyful despite the massive weight of public expectation. Having a trusted friend orchestrate the actual union allowed the couple to experience a genuine, deeply human moment amidst the colossal scale of the production, bridging the gap between their private love story and the spectacular environment of Madison Square Garden. To truly understand how this monumental evening came to be, one must look back exactly 3 years to the very week this entire cultural phenomenon sparked into existence. The roots of this modern epic were planted on a warm summer evening, specifically on July 8, 2023, during a historic stop of the songstress's record-breaking stadium tour in Kansas City. The powerhouse tight end, known for his relentless energy on the football field, found himself in the audience that night, completely captivated by the creative whirlwind performing on the massive stage. Armed with a youthful sense of optimism and a trending cultural tradition, he had spent time crafting a personalized friendship bracelet that proudly displayed his own phone number, fully intending to pass it along to the global superstar after the final curtain dropped. It was a bold, uniquely modern attempt at courtship that perfectly captured his charismatic personality, setting the stage for a romantic chase that would soon capture the imagination of the entire planet. However, as fate would have it, that initial evening did not go exactly according to plan, introducing a dramatic hurdle that only heightened the narrative's tension. Due to the incredibly rigorous demands of her performance schedule and the airtight security bubble that constantly surrounds her during massive stadium productions, the athlete's attempt to hand over the custom jewelry was entirely unsuccessful. He was politely informed that the singer strictly protects her voice and energy both before and after her grueling multi-hour sets, meaning she was completely unavailable for backstage meet and greets or casual introductions. Rather than letting the rejection dampen his spirits, the charismatic football star chose to share his lighthearted frustration on his popular weekly podcast, openly joking about his missed opportunity to connect with the woman who had completely stolen his attention. This public confession proved to be the ultimate turning point, as the candid admission quickly caught the attention of the media, his fans, and eventually the superstar herself, who found the bold gesture incredibly endearing. This initial spark quickly ignited a period of intense, whirlwind courtship that forced both individuals to navigate the complex challenges of balancing two of the most demanding careers in modern entertainment. As the singer continued her historic journey across continents, performing night after night in front of sold-out crowds of 80,000 screaming fans, the elite athlete made it his mission to show up for her in the exact same way she commanded the stage. Despite being in the middle of his own rigorous professional season, filled with exhausting practices, team meetings, and high-stakes games, he frequently boarded long-distance flights to sit in the VIP sections of international stadiums, cheering her on with the unmistakable pride of a true fan. This relentless dedication did not go unnoticed by the public, as cameras constantly captured his enthusiastic reactions from the stands, turning his presence at her concerts into a highly anticipated spectacle that rivaled the main event itself. The sheer logistical nightmare of coordinating international travel around two inflexible schedules would have broken lesser relationships. But for this pair, the constant movement seemed to only strengthen their resolve to make the romance work. Navigating the intense landscape of relentless public interest required a profound level of emotional maturity from both individuals, as every single action they took was instantly dissected by millions of onlookers across the globe. For a superstar who spent nearly her entire life under the microscope of fame, finding someone who could handle the crushing weight of that constant scrutiny without flinching was an absolute necessity. The elite football star proved to be exactly that steady presence, frequently expressing how remarkably grounded their connection remained when the stadium lights were turned off and the cameras were packed away. He openly shared that whenever they were together in their private sanctuary, the outside chaos simply dissolved, allowing them to feel like entirely regular people who were simply and deeply in love. This ability to maintain a normal, down-to-earth relationship amidst a level of fame that could easily overwhelm anyone became the solid foundation that carried them through the heavy media storm, allowing their bond to deepen away from the public gaze. The next major chapter in this epic journey unfolded in August of last year, a momentous occasion that caused the entire digital landscape to instantly erupt into a massive, coordinated celebration. When the news of their official engagement finally broke, social media platforms experienced unprecedented levels of traffic, with millions of passionate fans immediately speculating about how, when, and where the wedding of the century would eventually take place. From that very day forward, details concerning the upcoming nuptials were kept under the absolute tightest lock and key, creating a masterclass in modern operational secrecy that baffled even the most seasoned entertainment journalists. For nearly a year, only the absolute most minimal fragments of information managed to leak out to the mainstream press, which only served to heighten the global anticipation and turned the eventual ceremony into a legendary, highly anticipated cultural mystery. This long and carefully guarded journey reached its ultimate culmination inside the historic walls of Madison Square Garden, an event that will undoubtedly be remembered as a definitive milestone in modern pop culture history. By choosing a venue that has hosted the world's most legendary musicians, athletes, and historic events, the couple created a stunning parallel to their own larger-than-life careers while managing to keep the actual ceremony profoundly intimate. The true beauty of the evening was perfectly captured by the groom's mother, Donna Kelce, who stood as a beacon of familial pride during a high-profile holiday celebration in New York City shortly after the event. Reflecting on the monumental evening with immense emotion, she joyfully broke her silence to describe the entire atmosphere as purely, undeniably magical, providing the public with the first real, heartfelt confirmation of the immense love and joy that filled the arena. Her genuine words resonated deeply with millions of people, validating the incredible journey this couple had taken from a missed connection with a friendship bracelet to a spectacular, historic union. The true significance of this marriage extends far beyond the typical boundaries of a standard celebrity romance, representing a monumental cultural merger that has completely redefined entertainment and sports marketing. Over the course of their 3-year journey, the pairing of a global music titan and a premier professional athlete created a powerful crossover effect that brought entirely new audiences into realms they had never previously explored. Millions of young music fans suddenly found themselves learning the intricate rules of professional football, tracking game statistics, and tuning into weekly broadcasts just to catch a glimpse of their favorite artist cheering from the luxury suites. Conversely, hardcore sports enthusiasts developed a newfound respect for the staggering artistry, logistical brilliance, and unmatched work ethic required to execute a record-breaking international stadium tour. This beautiful exchange of passion and community effectively bridged a massive cultural gap, proving that love can serve as an incredible unifying force that brings vastly different worlds together in celebration. Looking back at the incredible path both of these individuals have walked, it becomes entirely clear that their union is the result of 2 parallel lifetimes defined by relentless dedication, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. The bride's journey from a young aspiring songwriter acoustic guitar in hand to an absolute titan of the global music industry is a narrative defined by unparalleled creative brilliance and fierce independence. She has continually broken every established record in music history, completely rewriting the rules of the business, while maintaining an incredibly deep, authentic emotional connection with a generational fan base that spans the entire globe. Her ability to channel her personal joys, heartbreaks, and triumphs into universal anthems has made her one of the most influential cultural figures of the 21st century. A true icon whose impact will be felt for generations to come. In the exact same manner, the groom has built a legendary career in the brutally competitive world of professional sports, establishing himself as one of the greatest and most reliable players to ever step onto the gridiron. Known for his fierce competitive drive, unmatched athletic charisma, and a deeply rooted loyalty to his teammates and family, he has spent over a decade performing at the absolute highest level imaginable. His journey, heavily supported by his tight-knit family and his celebrated older brother, has been defined by championship victories, historic records, and an infectious, joyful energy that elevates everyone around him. To see these 2 distinct paths of excellence converge in such a spectacular, heartfelt fashion feels less like a simple coincidence and much more like a beautifully orchestrated moment of cultural destiny, as the couple begins this exciting new chapter of their shared lives as husband and wife. The global community continues to celebrate the beautiful reminder that true human connection can still flourish under the absolute brightest spotlights. Their story is a powerful testament to the fact that no matter how massive your career or how intense the public scrutiny, finding a partner who truly understands your world and treats you like a regular person is the ultimate victory. The echoing phrases of joy from family members, the stunning artistry of custom fashion, and the grand illumination of the New York City skyline all serve as perfect markers for a love story that has officially transitioned from a captivating modern folklore tale into permanent history. It is a spectacular conclusion to a 3-year chase, leaving the entire world completely inspired by a romance that truly proved to be completely, undeniably magical.